This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. Just came by to check on some Garcinia fruits that were pretty close to ripening. They're Garcinia intermedia with a little frog on it. It's not quite ripe. Oh, I see one down here that is, though. Yes, look at this. There's a lot of fruit on this tree. It kind of produces year-round. It's Garcinia intermedia. It's a good fruit. So I started this YouTube channel that's been like a year and a half ago. And I just been on a tear making videos because I started doing it because people would gaslight, have a different reality than narrative than what was actually happening here at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. We're a biodynamic rare tropical fruit farm in Florida, Vero Beach, Florida, and we have thousands of fruit trees, most of which I start from seed. We have about 250 grafted Zills mangoes, top tier mangoes, and a lot of seed-grown trees, mango trees, that I don't even include in my total on the number of trees we have of mango trees. So we have way more than 300, 400 mango trees, but 250 grafted trees. So I was looking at this Philodendron maximus that's just sending out a new leaf finally. Somebody commented that they didn't want to see the houseplants. Okay, well, close your eyes or turn the channel, because they're not houseplants for us. They're integral part of our orchard floor. Because of their high calcium oxalate content and their water that they contain in their leaves. That's for building soil, aggregated soil, and for fire prevention. To improve the orchard floor. So I've been slowly turning them into part of the farm, but I had to get them acclimated to growing organically. Those rare aroid people, most of them, they just are all chemicals. It's kind of like the tropical fruit people in Florida. They told me I couldn't basically grow here without watering or using bug insecticides and stuff. And that's, I wanted to show, and I think I've clearly shown what we are here at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. So I think I'm probably gonna stop making videos. I'm definitely gonna stop making them regularly. So I imagine I will make them when we have a bumper crop of mangoes, but I think I've shown that what Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm is through my videos, and I think somebody would have trouble gaslighting us now. So yes, you can grow stuff organically. It's probably the easiest place I've ever grown organically in the US. I've done it all over: New York, Ohio, California, Louisiana, Florida, and it works. And it works the same way for all our trees. So this is a super rare tree called a Ubajay. It's Eugenia myricanthes, or Hexalclamis edulis is the old name. And this is the giant sweet version. I was unsure if it was the giant version, but I found pictures of the leaf, so it is. That's what it was given to me as. It was a gift from a friend of mine who grows organically also here in Indian River County, naturally like this. Pretty close to how this is grown, but it'd be hard to tell difference looking at the two systems. We just have different types of trees. So trees that I have, he likes, and trees that he has, I like. So we're able to trade. I like trading plants. And we started this farm to grow Garcinia trees. There's a little Luke's Garcinia there. There's so many different sizes we have. We have over 100 Lukes, all seeds sourced from Luke himself. Due to the fact that 10 years ago or 8 years ago or so, when I was looking for these Luke's Garcinia trees, people sold me the wrong thing. So I wound up with MB trees that were not hermaphrodites. I don't care. People make mistakes. Nurseries make mistakes, and then the seeds I bought from a different source were bad. They didn't germinate. So I contacted Luke himself, and I'm a little behind on our Luke's Garcinia game, but we will get there. We will have fruit from it eventually. It's just a matter of time. These mushrooms are just everywhere. So I kind of say the same stuff in all my videos. That's kind of why I've exhausted my, I wanted to look at that other Eugenia myricanthes. Sweet Ubajay, giant sweet Ubajay. There's two different forms. There's a small form, and then there's a giant form. Here's the second tree I have of that. Growing here. I'm gonna go look at that Garcinia madrona fruit to see what it looks like. Yeah, the videos are starting to turn into work, so I think it's a good time to have a pause. The social media kind of scares me a little bit. We're not open to the public, but I have shown a lot of people the place, personal tours, but you have to make an appointment. And I really like to give tours that people that are obsessed with tropical fruit trees, that want to do it naturally, not somebody that heard about this place and just wants to come by just to say they've been here. That's not the type of people I like to have here. So I just I'm looking at this Garcinia madrona tree that had a flower on it, but it doesn't look like it's set, which is surprising because Garcinia madronas always seem to set fruit, but it's got new leaves, and I'm sure it'll set. This thing has fruited 2 years in a row, or last year it did not because the fruit froze during the freeze, our 2 days of freeze we had. So it froze on the tree. But the 2 years previous to that, that little tree has fruited. It's been good. I was thinking about making a trail, a mowed path through here on my footpath, just to make it easier to move around in here. Because with the weeds on the footpaths, sometimes when people come by here, it's hard for them to stay on the path, which I think is important. People have issues because of the compaction. That's basically all our problems are stemmed from compaction, I believe. We really don't have too many problems anymore, but the stunted trees, the diseased mangoes, the bananas that don't grow, it's compaction. The trees that freeze, that's compaction. The trees that die in drought, that's compaction here. So it's from this being a lawn for 50 years. They mowed it. They were killing the trees. The trees were all dying. The big giant live oak trees were all dying on this property. But they seem to be on pause from that. So hopefully they will live for an extended period of time. My little bananas that I've been planting, dividing. I got 10 more divided. We got 230 of these bananas now. I want to get up to about 300. Of course, I don't seem to be able to stop, so there's no reason why we shouldn't get up to 500 or so bananas here. We would have probably had a lot of fruit on the banana trees. But the hurricanes came through and knocked over all our trees that had bunches of fruit on them. So a couple of small, trees that had tiny little racks, which usually doesn't happen here, but sometimes it does. Usually on a tree that I dug up and divided that was ready to fruit, we'll put out a smaller than usual rack, but that's okay. All of these trees you can't even see because of the green on green, and they're not all the same size because it's not a monocrop here. We don't do monocrops. And I did the whole garden myself. So it's a work in progress. It's a daily thing. It changes. It's like a dynamic situation here. It's not an install where you pay somebody to install a farm. This is a garden, and we have a lot of different trees that fruit. The chachas, a lot of the trees, they lost their leaves, or a lot of the leaves, because of the hurricanes. So 2 back-to-back hurricanes, Ian and then Nicole, I guess. I was kind of surprised Ian came through here and did as much damage as it did to other people. Thankfully, knock on wood, we didn't have that problem. So I was talking about our beach house, and I forgot to because we have it's a 2.5 acres of dry farm. That's where I tested a lot of these fruit trees to see what they can handle. Before we bought this place, and so we have sugar apples there that produce 2 big crops a year, clean fruit, and I had just got some fruit off of it yesterday because I just went there and picked the fruit, but I forgot to do the taste test on the fruit, and I have the fruit still, but I have to give blood today, and I had to fast, so I couldn't really do a video of it. There's another achacha tree. They're all looking good, these achachas. It's amazing how well they do here. It's amazing how well everything does here. It's kind of stunning. These bananas look haggard because during the storms, this tree knocked over, so I chopped back all the new foliage before the second hurricane so it wouldn't fall over. So it's not really looking its prime right now, but it still looks good. Real good. So I guess I could take these ingas and just do cuttings of them and poke them in the ground, because people do cuttings of the inga trees so to propagate them. So that's an Inga spectabilis. I'm going to do that with our older inga tree. We get a little cold here, so the ingas take a little bit longer to fruit compared to Miami, but they do fruit here. Just like the cacao, they fruit here, but they might not do it from seed in 2 years. They're not pushed. Our trees are not pushed. We're on the slow, steady. We want this farm to be here in 30 years when I'm probably gone. And it's self-sustaining, so it doesn't need anybody's help. You don't have to water. It's really, it is a stress-free garden. Kind of the only stress I get now is from the YouTube channel. So that's one of the reasons why I'm going to stop doing it. I don't really want any notoriety for myself. You know, it's 1,000 subscribers and getting paid for it is all nice, but I really don't care. That's not why I did it. I thought it would keep me busy, and I like making videos, but I stopped kind of like making them, so I'm not gonna do it anymore. Canistel fruit has fruit on it, but I don't know if it's going to hold, but you know, the egg fruit. This tree is a very large tree, but it's right next to the driveway, and this was like the main entrance to the house, and it was just lawn. There was no walkway, and they kept it mowed, and then there was a chain link fence right here. So it's falling over because the roots are not able to penetrate the compaction layer and are causing the tree to grow in a funny way. And then my dogs, I think, were peeing right here, which caused it to grow really fast. But our other canistel fruit trees, they seem fine. I just could not figure out why that tree would fall over all the time and not grow upright, but it's got to be because of the compaction. All our problems are caused by compaction. I'm sure this Florida citrus issues is all a compaction issue. And why are they watering citrus? I want to show you our seed-grown citrus, just because, I mean, it's kind of amazing that there's so much trouble in Florida, and they blame it on a bug. But it's not the bug, it's the monocrop you're putting in. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. A lot of stuff in Florida doesn't make sense to me. That's why I wanted to sell. I had trouble here until I fell in love with my farm. And then I thought, well, maybe I should sell it because it's becoming too much fruit and too much work. And I do it all myself. You know, this is my yard. This is just like you with your city-sized lot or whatever you may have. This is my yard. I don't, like, I've never hired anybody to do anything. I do it all myself, 100%. That's why doing the organic certification and the biodynamic certification, we are not organic certified anymore. We are only biodynamic certified. I don't believe in organic. I don't think you can have organic, true organic food. If you grow hydroponically or you use water-soluble fertilizers. It's just how I feel. I create a lot of enemies by my viewpoints, but that's why I started this channel. It's the chemical cartels hated me. The tropical fruit growers. They hate me, a lot of them. A lot of them like me, but there's a contingent that is so pro-chemical that they just won't let you have they will not allow you to have your own reality. So they want to change the narrative. So I mean, look at this citrus. I've harvested 50 fruit off these trees, these 2 trees here already, and there's easily 50 fruit more on there. So this is the 4th year from seed. Next year they will be 5 years old, but this is the 2nd year they fruited. And this is our own personal lemon. This is not anybody's grafted tree. This is from a wild lemon from our beach house. Our 2.5 acre beach house that grows in the forest and produces tons and tons of fruit. And we're on our 2nd generation of lemons. None of them got knocked off during the hurricanes. That one just fell off because it's ripe. And each one, I mean, these little lemons produce like 3/4 of a cup of juice. The larger ones produce more. The little marks on them, that's from birds pecking the brown spots. That's not greening, that's bird pecks. Underneath there's none. They didn't get all the fruit. They don't have any bird pecks on them, but they get a lot of them. The blackbirds, the starlings, I've noticed, which I like. And they do it when the trees are young. But I don't know how anybody had trouble growing citrus here. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me. And then they water them. I mean, these trees were this big when I planted them out here in this tall weeds, this big, and they were never watered. What I do is apply compost like that. You know, I clean the barn out. Watch any of my videos, I've talked about it hundreds of times. Bananas are looking good. Anyway, I just wanted to do a video because I felt like I have all these great people that watch my videos. Thank you very much, and do support. And I've enjoyed doing it, and I met some great people that have come to the farm or met through YouTube, and hopefully I'll continue to stay in touch with those people. But I don't know. Social media has such a bad reputation, and I don't know. I don't like it. I'm too private of a person, I guess, is what it is. Pigeon peas already. Wow. Is it pretty here? There's a big old achacha tree over here. It's this might be one of the next ones to start fruiting. It's not that big, but it's getting there compared to, can't really see it, can you? Right there. It's a big guava behind it that's covered in fruit again. So we don't have a website to sell seeds or fruit, which probably would make things easier, but I've never wanted a job like that, and I don't plan on hiring anybody. I just am too much of a control. I mean, I do it all myself, so it's like, my partner said, well, when I retire, I'll do the website, but they don't look like they're retiring anytime soon. But I've sold seeds. We're kind of out of seeds right now. I'm just kind of surprised that nobody wanted any of these citrus seeds. Yeah, 25 cents each, 4 for $1. But they're biodynamic lemons that will grow into a tree that produces that fruit, these fruits that I just showed you on those trees. They don't produce a different type of tree. They produce the same tree. At least 2 generations have. Now, will all the seeds do that? I don't know. I just started growing citrus like 5 years ago with those seeds. Well, I had our beach house lemon. That's why, like, what is wrong with these people and their lemon, their citrus fruit? Why are they? Why can these citrus grow in a forest without any inputs or any water, but yet whole blocks of hundreds of acres, they can't grow them, and it costs a lot of money, and they have to do all these inputs, and they have to water them because they're using salt-based fertilizers, water-soluble fertilizers, and then they're polluting our groundwater. I don't know. I don't understand why some people are able to pollute other people's property. I mean, really, you don't own the property. This is like Florida. You do not own Florida. Sure, you might own the title to your house, but Florida is owned by everyone, really. You're just a temporary custodian. And yet, people choose to destroy it so that it's totally polluted for future generations. But I guess if you say you don't believe in organic or you don't believe in biodynamic, then you can justify anything if you say you don't believe in stuff. Just like they used to say they don't believe that I could grow all this stuff organically without doing anything, but we are not organic, but we're biodynamic. Biodynamic's the original organic certifying agency, or the platform. It was the first it was organic before organic was created. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I just wanted to let everyone know that this is probably it for a while, and thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll have plenty of fruit, and I'll make a video when I need to sell it. But until then, I hope everyone's safe and is growing well, and I hope I didn't let anybody down. Have a beautiful day. This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm.